Being on a long duration mission, it's helpful to have a sense of humor, keep your spirits up, and Alexa has a lot of personality that we can test out today. Jacob, I'll start with you.
Okay. Alexa, tell a science joke.
Alexa, tell a science joke.
There's a fine line between a numerator and a denominator.
What made you want to become a teacher?
Teaching has always been in my life. It was a passion, it was a gift. It never really felt like teaching.
What was it like walking into Mission Control?
I felt like I was a part of the mission. It was just surreal.
Welcome to our Special Operations Room here in Mission Control, Johnson Space Center. We invited you here to help us test out Callisto. Do you guys have Alexa devices at home?
I do.
For this version of Alexa that's on Callisto, we use a technology called local voice control.
Just because I know my students would ask, since it's all embedded within it, is it a faster response time than it would be for it to go through the cloud on Earth?
Let's just say there's an astronaut on board and we're using the cloud and they would make a request. It'd be 13 seconds to be able to get that response back. All that normally happens in the cloud, we're doing offline right here inside Callisto on the payload. So if an astronaut were on board and they made that request, they'd be able to get that back instantaneously instead of having to wait to go through the Deep Space Network. Before we go any further, I do want to call out, so if you look at the window on the right-hand side, that's the moon. What does STEM mean to the culture of a school and its surrounding community?
STEM is super important for the community that I teach specifically. I teach a class called Makerspace, which is a little bit more geared towards engineering and computer science. It's not just for the kids either. I'm having community members that are coming in from the outside that are learning what the kids are learning, or they're themselves professionals and coming into the classroom and teaching them, hey, this is something that I've made, or this is something I've created, and help kids be more prepared for a future without limitations.
In order to have Alexa hear you, we need to get your voice from here up to the vehicle. And we're using something called the Deep Space Network. And when Neil Armstrong took his first steps on the moon, the Deep Space Network is what he used to transmit his famous first words on the moon. And today, we're going to be using that same network to send your voice into space.
Okay.
So no pressure.
Yeah.
So Chris, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Alexa, how much oxygen do we have left?
Alexa, how much oxygen do we have left?
Since Artemis I is an uncrewed mission, the vehicle is not flying with oxygen reserves on board.
What would you say to students who are looking to get into STEM careers?
We have to learn these skills because the world is changing day by day. There's so many different avenues to get into computer science, and it doesn't mean you have to sit in front of a computer 24/7. We don't know what computers will look like in 20 years. You know, we have Alexa. She doesn't even need to be in the same room, right? She could be in space.
Right.
Alexa, play music.
Alexa, play music.
Come fly with me, let's fly, let's fly.
I ordered a song on the moon. What?
That is amazing.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. This kind of simulates the experience my kids had with the recent Hour of AI activity we did, where they programmed the utterances and the intent and all that. So it's really a good way to show them that this is actually what's being used here.
What is your favorite subject in STEM?
I would say computer science. And it's my favorite subject because it encompasses a lot of different disciplines. It allows you to be creative. The big aspect there is looking and searching for problems and finding how to think your way through them. And, not be afraid to make mistakes. Alexa, what should my students know about space?
Alexa, what should my students know about space? I think students would like to know that Orion will travel farther into space than any spacecraft built for humans has ever flown. The lessons from these missions will be used to ensure the safety of future moon landings and, eventually, visiting the planet Mars. This mission will inform space exploration and travel for the next generation.
Next generation that is sitting in our classroom right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right.
Right?
That's so crazy.
It's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to be an astronaut?
Yeah. I think today I got a little dose of reality with it. We got to go inside of Orion, and we got to cram 4 of us in there. I don't know if I would be the one who gets annoyed or the one who is annoying because of how small those quarters were.
If you were given the chance, would you go to space?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Without all the work that goes into becoming an actual astronaut. Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to be an astronaut?
I have never wanted to be an astronaut. And I don't think it's that common that someone like me from Nigeria and a woman would think of being an astronaut. But maybe my kids could want to be astronauts.
So, do you have a favorite astronaut?
Yes, I do. Her name is Jessica Watkins. Having a woman of color for my kids to be able to celebrate and realize where they could go in the future, that is hugely impactful because representation is everything for the students that I teach.
What would you say your favorite part of the day was?
The people behind the scenes. You don't have to be an astronaut to be in NASA. You can be a computer programmer, a diver, so many different things and contribute. We try to get kids to understand through project-based learning, you have to learn to work together, especially in computer science now where we want more inclusivity. You might be one person, but even the little things that you can do can affect so many people.
We just have one last command.
Oh, yes.
Nice. You get the fun one.
Yep.
Alexa, turn on party mode.
Alexa, turn on party mode.
Turning on celebration lighting.
I love it.
That's really good.
Now imagine that out in space and you're just seeing all these lights going on.
And the rap music going on.
With the rap music, right?
So what we're going to do next is we're going to move over to the whiteboard, and we're going to test how future crew members could interact with their coworkers while on a mission. So you want to follow me over there?
Sure.
Is there anything that you want to say to your students?
Oh, there's so much I want to say to my students. The thing I wish I could tell all my students, and I do whenever I have a chance, is that the way they see themselves and the way I see them are completely different. I see potential, I see ability, I see perspectives, I see the chance to make a difference in the world. And I know that, a lot of high school students don't have that kind of confidence because they just see the here and now and life's so hard and drama and conflict and all the things that they think are forever, but it's not, in 10 years, they're going to be completely different people. And so there's no one-size-fits-all message I can give them. Just do your best, and we're all rooting for them. Literally, all of us teachers are rooting for every single kid out there.